Thank you. You are too kind. Too kind. Thank you, and welcome to another edition of the Gare Bear Review. Today, we're going over a serious issue here. It's the movie Concussion. Yes. Since I would probably say, I don't even know, probably within the 90s, that uh, concussions have been a huge problem in the NFL. I get, and not even just the 90s. Pretty much the entire sport has this problem. Uh, since the entire time it's been initiated. Um, the now this movie is basically when it finally comes to light. It finally becomes the issue that we've all wanted it to become. Will Smith is in this movie, and he is absolutely phenomenal in his role as Bennett Amalu. Sorry, and he just nails every single thing with this role, and the movie it takes itself. I don't want to say too seriously, but seriously enough where you get the facts, you get why, you get what needs to be done, you get what should be done, you get you get a good portion of the story on where you're. I mean, I wouldn't say you'd have to settle for it, but it's a nice little view into what happened during this era. Now, the cast kind of brought me into this, unfortunately. I mean, you have Will Smith, Alec Baldwin. Oh, yeah, okay. Albert Brooks was in this. You also had David Morse in it for a while. You had Michael Malley, Eddie Marsan, and then you had Luke Wilson, Stephen Moyer. The cast goes on and on with this, and each of them were just equally as fantastic as the next. I definitely loved every aspect of this film. The amount of because it needs to stop. I played. I didn't play football, but I played lacrosse, where it's almost the same, where the body checking and the brutality of it, of any sport really. I mean, it doesn't have to be lacrosse, it doesn't have to be football. Any sport. Except for maybe golf, maybe. There's no contact really in that sport, so um, hockey has the same issue. There's a problem of concussions, and what this movie goes into is where did they come from? Where did the concussions derive from? Was it because the years and years of playing the sport? This shows the connection of what it is, and the science behind it was amazing. The actually explaining of it. Oh my god! The actual explaining of it, I should say, was actually pretty far going. Is pretty standard, and it actually worked out real well for me and the audience in general to understand what was actually going on uh, in this travesty. It shows an alertness and what the NFL clearly doesn't want you to see or clearly doesn't want you to hear. And it's still a problem to this day. They have been taking precautions since this came out. Uh, Not so much. I mean, I wouldn't say not so much now, but like you don't really hear much of it as now as you did. Uh, when they first do. But it's still out there. It's still a problem. It, it's a problem, and it needs to end. It needs to be solved because we all love football. We all love sports. We all love everything involved with it. But the problem is people are getting hurt because of it, and again, it needs to end. It legitimately needs to end, and I hope this movie is actually a beginning towards that. So I would suggest to you, the audience, that actually you should go see it, especially if you're a big fan of you're supporting your football teams or your baseball teams or your hockey teams. Go see this film. Oh, I swear I'm not tired, even though I only got 4 hours of sleep. I apologize. But yes, go see this movie. Check this out. Our next film will be a Marlon Wayans comedy known as 50 Shades of Black. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Bye.